Hey guys, it's the Wednesday Night Crit again, and this time we're doing it backwards. So we're going clockwise. That doesn't change much about the race strategically, but it does make the turns a little bit different, and it's refreshing to have something new to do. So just by luck, actually, I spent a few hours riding the course backward the weekend before this, so I got plenty of practice taking each of these turns the wrong way. There's nothing new for me. The first few laps, I spend a lot of time on the front, but other than that, not a whole lot goes on. So the action really gets started here, where Jose, in the neon kit there, jumps over and makes an attack. And he's really known for making lots of attacks and splitting up the race, so I figure if the guy in front of me is not going to chase it, I'll make a little move and just try and pull the group back to him. Not enough to make a lot of separation, but just to shut it down. So I catch up to Jose. He's sitting up. That was all he really wanted to do, was just kind of get things moving. But behind me, Scott, who's coming up on the right there, or on your left, makes a counterattack, which is a really good move. And he makes his right before the turn, so he's able to take a faster line through that turn than most of us are. So I look behind me. No one else is really chasing, so I figure we got to shut that down. Scott's a strong rider too, so away I go. And Scott does the same thing. He basically sits up, and I'll come by to catch him. Now, as we come into the first turn here, this other Elevate guy is coming up behind me and actually swings right in front and then slides over to give me a draft. So I figure, hey, maybe this is a counter that'll stick. You know, we're racking him up. So I jump on his wheel and hang out with him for a little bit. And he does a really good pull. We stay away for just a little bit. And it all kind of depends. This early in the race, I wasn't too interested in doing another pull. For me, it's just a free wheel to jump on. But I see behind us that group's catching up pretty fast. So this is another break that's not going to stick. Which makes sense. It's early in the race. I kind of have a target on my back from last week, so the catch happens, and all is well. So coming into the first turn here, or the last turn before the finishing straight, basically as soon as we come out of it, I'd be expecting someone to make a counter move now that this catch has happened. But we get ourselves established, and no one's really doing anything, so I figure I'll go for it. They're probably tired from having just finished that chase, and so I set off, have a decent amount of space from the group, and just try and stay out in front for a little bit. So I actually ended up staying away the rest of that entire lap, but as we're crossing the finish line here, they're ringing the bell for a preem. Which is pretty bad timing because I'm tired. But Mike is up on my wheel, so I figure maybe we can, work together. And as soon as we get to this first turn, there's these two lap riders that we're passing, and it couldn't be at a worse time. It really throws off our line on the turn, and as you can see, you look behind us, we've been caught instantly by the whole pack. So the plan from now then, since we've been caught by the group, is to just try and keep the pace nice and hard to shut down the opportunity for any attacks. Because if the pace is hard to begin with, people have a hard time getting even more speed to launch away. So we crest the edge of that triangular part of the course, and now we no longer have a headwind, and so I really light it up because this is when I would expect someone to try to make their move, to jump away before this turn, and then they basically have the preem. So I'm keeping it nice and hard, actually losing Mike's wheel for a little bit there, and then taking this turn as fast as I can. 27, whew. So get through that turn, and now I'm going to start to stand up just to seal the deal. I don't want to have someone take this from me at the last minute, and no one else really chases, so cross the line and then sit up. Job done. So now just a lap later, they've rung the bell for a preem again, and Durango is up the road there. We just don't want to give him the preem for free, so we're chasing. Scott's moving up the right side of the road, and as he gets up to Durango, he takes away the inside line. So he catches him right before the turn starts and takes that inside line from Durango, gets the first wheel there. So Durango's already in second position, this other rider's in third. Scott swings across the road and starts his sprint, and they can't catch him. He easily takes this preem with a really, really nice strategic move. So another lap, another preem. The guy in front of me here, Robert, has been pulling for a while, so he's about to pull off and have me come through. And I'm not sure why, but Jose behind me takes Robert's wheel instead of mine, and Robert has sat up. So that whole group is slowing down, and I'm not, and I end up going through the turn much, much faster than they do. And as soon as I straighten out, I look behind me, I see that they're far away, and so I said, what the heck, let's go for it, at least to get the preem. So I set off on a little mini attack here, just to get a nice solid gap that I can hold long enough to get to that finish line. I'm not really thinking about a race win here, I'm just thinking about getting another preem. Would be nice to have. But as the gap starts to grow, and being this late in the race, there's only 7 laps to go at this point, I'm trying to decide, like, if I cross the finish line with a big enough gap, then I'm going to commit, I'm just going to go for it and try and hold on to it the rest of the race. But if I'm about to be caught, that's fine, no hard feelings, I'll sit up and just take the preem and be happy with it. So as I enter the finishing straight, I look behind me, and I see the gap is really big, so I say, you know what? I'm going for it, head down, and I'm going to try and hold on to this for the rest of the race. You see my hands pop into view there. When you're seeing that, I'm actually resting my forearms on the flat part of my handlebars. What that does is it brings my shoulders in, and it reduces my overall frontal area, so the wind's hitting me less. And it ends up giving me about a half a mile an hour more speed for the same power output. And that's the kind of thing that could help in a breakaway like this, especially if the chase is strong, which from what I heard it was. It helps me stay away. And Jesse came out to watch, and he was actually shouting out gaps to me. So as the race went on, I felt pretty confident that I had it. So it was just a matter of hanging on, suffering, and watching that lap counter tick on down. So somehow I did it again, managed to start a breakaway and hang on to it till the end of the race. The gap got really big at the very end, so I think they decided they couldn't catch me and decided to just sit up and have a good field sprint for themselves. So crossed the line here, and then that's 2 wins 2 weeks in a row. I'll take it. And then Jesse got some good footage of me crossing the line, trying to take my hands off the bars, but I'm not good at riding without hands, so got a little scared. And then the field sprint comes in not too far behind with a good second and third place to round out the podium. So we'll see you next week.